Hello, all you positive heads out there. It's so good to be back with all you beautiful reflections of the one source consciousness that creates and animates all things. If you're new to this podcast, of course, we are super happy to have you here, and we just ask that you bring an open mind and heart to your listening experience and to be prepared to explore vantage points that I'm convinced will help shift or solidify your current understanding of the ultimate nature of reality in a way that is extremely empowering. Speaking of exploring powerful perspectives, I'm super excited to announce the release of my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. If you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level in 2021, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. All right, all you positive heads, welcome, welcome. Here we grow again. It is a magical Monday here in the studio as I record, and as always, I'm so grateful to be back with you guys, you gals, you extraterrestrials, whoever's listening, wherever this is being picked up. It's a pleasure. And today I want to talk a little bit about, just a smorgasbord. I think it's with a D. A few tools to add to the toolbox that have popped up on my radar in the last few weeks, and I've just sort of jotted them down as they come to me, and yeah, so just not even necessarily related, although it's all related ultimately, right? But yeah, just some random things that have popped up for me that are like, wow, this is awesome. Wow, I love this concept, this perspective, this bit of profound wisdom that has come across my path and just jumped out at me. And of course, I've shared so often I'm such a nerd for quotes. And what's so cool is like people, there's new ones coming up all the time, new ways of concisely saying something that not only is just words, but it has an energetic impact. It has an energetic thread that lands with it. And so these are just a few of those that have come up across my radar. And let's see. This first one is one that actually my son pointed out to me years ago. It's a lengthy quote by Theodore Roosevelt. And I thought of it for the first time the other day when I was hearing a bit of like critique from the sidelines. We all know that experience, right? Hearing someone who has a lot of ideas about what you could or couldn't do or should do, or, even speculating about things that they really don't necessarily have any, qualifying right to talk about, or, it's so easy for people to sit on the sidelines of life and just sort of like, critique as opposed to getting in the game. And so my son actually shared this one with me originally years ago and put it on the side of our refrigerator years back. And it came up for me just the other day with a little incident where I instantly thought of it. And so I thought, you know what? I don't remember. I might have shared this at some point in the past, but it's definitely worthy of another share. And it is a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. And Theodore Roosevelt, once upon a time, it looks like, from the speech Citizenship in a Republic, delivered at the Sorbonne in Paris, France, April 23rd, 1910. Wow, 111 years ago. The man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. the woman in the arena. I love that. It's so good. It's like there's so much of that noise in our lives. We can all relate to really, being in there, getting our hands dirty and doing something, and having someone on the sidelines who has a strong opinion about what you should or shouldn't do, or speculating or gossiping about what they think went on. And it's just like that person really doesn't count. And the only time they count is if you let them count. If you give them your energy, if it's like at some point we've all been told or sold something that about ourselves that just isn't, it's just not truth. But if we take it on, you're told at 5 years old, who is it that I can't remember if it was someone on the show or someone I was talking to, they were saying, at 5 years old, they were saying, oh, you have a honker like me, talking about the kid's nose. And that from that day forward, the kid was like, convinced their nose was all kinds of wrong when it was perfect, exactly as it was. And it became like a lifelong thing. So you have that sort of thing that happens and goes on all the time. And then you have people that are always going to, especially when you're going and striving for anything in your life, if you're doing anything outside of the norm, expect to have those who are, not even are so in the box and can't understand where you've landed in your own perspectives. We were talking about this on the last Zoom, actually, with an awesome P-head, longtime P-head, how his family, sort of like not getting why he's doing the things that he's doing. And I'm like, he's in the arena. He's going for it. He's putting himself out there, putting himself on the line to really step out of his comfort zone to create the life that he envisions is the one that is meant to unfold for him. And so, I just want to stress, because this came up for me recently again, and I thought of this, all of you out there listening, you're in the arena, you're going for it. If you fail, at least you failed while daring greatly. You're not going to be, with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. It's like that Bible verse. Now, I used to say I only quoted one Bible verse. Now it's kind of two. It's growing a little bit. And it's like, and I don't think I'd get them exactly right, but they're darn close. It's like, because you are neither hot nor cold and lukewarm, I spew you out of my mouth. And that's the same kind of thing here. It's like these people are like just very, playing it safe. And which is actually the greatest risk of all. So I just wanted to share that because, well, I know if it's bubbling up for me a little bit, then being the beautiful reflections that you all are, if you're tuning into this broadcast, there's probably some out there who are bumping up against this. And so I just want to remind you, if you're in the arena and someone's talking about what's going on in your arena and they ain't in the arena, they're not in an arena and probably hardly ever stepped into an arena, maybe never in their life, probably not the best person to listen to. Don't you think? All right, next one. This one I really like. So good for me. Pause and become stable prior to expression. Pause and become stable prior to expression. Woo! If you can manage your nervous system, you have really achieved something. So not allowing yourself to, instantly react to whatever's coming into your field. Pause, deep breaths, great. Deep breaths. I can feel it whenever someone triggers me, or I'm not liking what I'm hearing or seeing or whatever. It's like all of a sudden my nervous system is just like, buzzing, like I can go from 0 to 10 pretty quick. And so, okay, hold on. Don't express, don't react. If someone can, if you're reacting to someone around you, they're controlling you. Like, do it for the sake of maintaining your own sovereignty and power, right? Pause. You've got time. Deep breathing. What a powerful way to slow and calm and soothe the nervous system. And as you become a more powerful creator, as you become more, you start showing up more powerfully in all of the interactions in your life, flying off the handle and expressing and just like, blah, letting it out and then like thinking about it afterwards or regretting how you reacted or any of that. It's just, it's old you. It's old news. It's what we're all moving away from, anyone tuning into this. Pause, become stable, feel your nervous system stabilizing. Okay, now I'm going to express. Sadhguru said, stress is not a consequence of a particular situation. It is a consequence of your inability to manage your own system. Wow. Yeah, that's it. It's like these things. This is the old smooth seas never made for a skilled sailor. So you're going to constantly have things. I know I constantly have things that are triggering my nervous system, and it's like slowly but surely better and better and better because of exposure, right? It's just like if I get, more exposure to anything, I become more immune to it. If I get more exposure to, go in the sun, the first day of summer and see how your skin reacts to it after, or then on the other side of that, look at September. If you've been in the sun each day, all day, every day, for the most part, totally different. You've built up a tolerance and the ability to really handle what's coming at you. And that is so powerful when you start to take it all on your own lap and say, okay, I'm going to pause and become stable prior to expressing. I am understanding now that stress is my inability to manage my system. And I am in the process of becoming better at managing my system. And whatever you do, don't beat yourself up for your shortcomings with this. Because if you do that, we're all doomed. It's just like, it's all greatness comes from falling flat, failing, picking up the pieces, trying again, getting better. It's just like, this is it's the process that we are all right smack dab in the middle of is a very intense process. This process of becoming stable and stronger and just like going to the gym, same kind of thing, right? This is working out your nervous system and just becoming and bringing awareness to the process, I think is so clutch. It's so key. And so, yeah, wanted to share that one. Before we continue on with today's episode, I'd like to take a moment to tell you a little bit about my very first book, The Golden Key: Modern Alchemy to Unlock Infinite Abundance. The concept for the book initially came to me in a dream and has been followed by a next level amount of synchronicity, confirming for me that the information in the book is pertinent to get to the world at this moment in our collective evolution. In the book, I share the 8 keys to manifesting abundance that I've personally discovered over 25 years of trial, error, and deep exploration, including one golden key that ultimately ties them all together. I think most of you will agree with me that talk is a bit cheap, especially these days, and results speak the loudest of all. Well, these keys have led me to manifesting incredible results, such as an Inc. fastest growing private company, uncanny health, incredible relationships, and success with this podcast. However, I'm not any more special than you, and anyone can apply this information to achieve incredible results in their own life. I also believe waking up our planet by sharing these keys to abundance is the quickest way to help us to transition our home into the planet of paradise it is destined to become, which is why I'd like to gift the book to you at goldenkey.gift when you use the golden key code POSITIVEHEAD. I would also like to invite you to create your own unique golden key code so you in turn can gift the book to others, as well as invite you to participate in a unique abundance manifestation game with me and the other readers that is outlined in detail at the end of the book and on the website, where readers are also going to share the inspiring results of their abundance manifestation experiments. Lastly, I'm going to practice what I preach by sharing 50% of the abundance generated from the golden game and sale of the other golden goodies on the website with you and all the other readers. So if you're ready to alchemize the circumstances in your life so that your abundance expands to an entirely new level, head over to goldenkey.gift to download the audio or ebook as my gift to you by using the code POSITIVEHEAD. Also, if you end up loving and appreciating your gifted copy of the book, please take a moment to go to Amazon and give it a review, which will greatly help me reach and unlock more hearts with the golden key. And then I wanted to speak about authenticity. I see so much of, it's in the age of social media, it is so easy to become inauthentic if we're not careful and to be, stack ranking. I want to invite everyone to the perspective that authenticity is king. It is that humble, authentic, once again, man, I'm getting good at quoting the Bible here. I just remembered it from childhood, like the first shall be last and the last shall be first. The meek shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. It's authentic, humble. That's so powerful. Authenticity. Adam Nix, who was on this podcast a while back, longtime P-head, Wayfinder podcast host, I saw it on his Instagram, said, authenticity is a magnet. Absolutely right. Such an authentic guy too. Like I take that energy of my interactions with how humble and intelligent and authentic he feels to interact with. And then there's so many people in this space who it's like, oh, how many numbers do you have? Oh, what's your how many followers do you have? I'm going to determine how cool you are or aren't because of that nonsense. And it's so silly. It's like, actually, that meekness, that humbleness, that authenticity, not stack ranking people. I'm using, this world of podcasting because it's like a thing. It's like, what people are looking at. And as someone who has never really given a lot of attention or energy to social media because it wasn't really authentic to me. It's like, I'm too busy making podcasts. I'm too busy doing other things that are more alive for me than, lots of Instagram posts, for example. But it's crazy that's what like people really like are so judging, it's like, and it's just not a tell of who someone is, where they're at, what they're about. That's why I always love to bring on the show. If I was really focused on only bringing the biggest names, I could do that. And it's like, it's just not my highest excitement. And many would say, to my detriment, the people out there who are just like, it's all about, how do I social climb? How do I, that whole thing. It's just, in the end, I think I'm putting all my cards on being just authentic, true, lifting up someone based off of who they are, their voice, not how many likes they have or followers they have, or, did they start their podcast last week, or do they have, a million people listening each time? I don't really care. I care about the message and the energy of it. And it's sometimes I find myself getting like frustrated or disappointed when I can see people who are just on a totally different wavelength. And it's just like, I got to remember, like they're on their own journey, and it's not really personal, and energy ultimately balances itself out. So, I'm inviting each and every one of you to join Team Authenticity, humility as much as possible. That doesn't mean to ever downplay yourself in a way that, minimize it, play small, right? But just being really real and not being caught up in things that don't matter, just getting to the core of what's really matters, and just being that's what's really beautiful, and people feel it. And it ultimately, I agree with that Bible quote wholeheartedly. The meek will inherit the earth. That is, the first shall be last, the last shall be first, from a certain perspective, right? And so, yeah, if you've ever felt bummed or intimidated about any of that sort of stuff, like how you stack rank against someone else, let's throw that one away. It's pretty tired, and it just doesn't. Where we're headed, it's going to become more and more apparent how nonsensical and silly that is. Well, guys, that's a few of my tools to add to the toolbox that have been bubbling up for me lately, and now they've bubbled up for you. And speaking of bubbling up, a new song bubbled up that I love. One of my favorite music artists hadn't put out music in a while, and just put out a couple new tracks, and I think there's more to come. So yeah, I'm gonna share one of them here. Foxglove. This is by Tor, Tor. Love this artist, love this song, and I love each and every one of you. Till next time, journey well. Also, quickly, before we cue up today's song, I wanted to remind you to download the Golden Key, audio or ebook, as my free gift to you at goldenkey.gift using the code POSITIVEHEAD. I also wanted to remind you that I will now be doing a live Q&A every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time on the new social audio app Clubhouse. I have really been wanting to connect and interact with all of you more for quite some time, and I'm super excited to now have 2 new ways to do it. First, if you're already on Clubhouse, be sure to follow me and click the little bell on my profile and select to always be notified when I go live on the Clubhouse app. And if you'd like to connect on an even more intimate Zoom gathering once a month, now you can do that too by registering at goldenkey.gift.